Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining the PBC on NBC conference call. If you would like to ask a question for Bundridge or Charlo, please press star 1 on your telephone. Again, it is star 1 to ask a question for Bundridge or Charlo. I will now like to turn the call over to your host, Mr. Lou DiBella. You may begin.
Thanks for joining us, everybody, for this press call for the PBC on NBC show, September 12th. Saturday afternoon at Foxwoods Resort Casino in Mashantucket, Connecticut. The NBC broadcast will begin at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific Time. The doors will open at the casino at 1 p.m. and the first bout at 1:05. We have a sensational off-TV undercard that you'll be learning more about in the next few days, and I look forward to everybody being in the arena. But if you're not, we look forward to people tuning in to PBC on NBC, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, towards a tremendous doubleheader. The main event of the evening is the fight between Peter Quillin, Kid Chocolate, undefeated middleweight, 31-0-1, 22 KOs, against Michael Zerafa, 17-1 with 9 KOs from Melbourne, Australia. This is a fight where Peter's looking to get to the big fight that's waiting for him at the end of this year in December against Daniel Jacobs for the world middleweight title. Peter is a former world champion himself. He did not lose the title in the ring. He's undefeated, and that matchup between Jacobs and Quillin figures to be one of the biggest fights you can make in New York, one of the biggest fights in the middleweight division. It's for who's the pride of New York. It's for who's has supremacy in middleweight and who's one of the top middleweights in the world. But first, Peter's got to get by Michael Zerafa, who's looking to upset the apple cart. The opening fight of the night is a tremendous matchup, a true crossroads fight between Cornelius K9 Bundridge. Bundridge is the oldest world champion actively fighting today. That's a badge of honor. He's in his 40s and proud of it. This is a guy that has always defied the odds. Two-time world champion, defending his title against a young guy on the rise, Jermall Charlo, 21-0 with 16 KOs out of Houston, Texas. One of the Charlo brothers. Jermall is looking now to take a world championship in his first attempt. This is a terrific fight. This is a kind of fight that can't be a bad fight. Both guys have everything at stake. And the question at hand here is going to be, can K9, the old dog, retain his title and put on a great performance one more time with the young lion coming for his belt? So first I'd like to introduce that young lion to say a couple of words. Out of Houston, Texas, Jermall Charlo. Jermall?
Yes, how you doing? Just prepared for this fight. I know this is my second time really at this level, but the first time it didn't go through, so I can't look at that. I'm only looking forward, and K9 is in my way right now. So I'm just prepared to fight and put on a good show and give it all I got.
Thank you, Jermall. Tickets for the live event, by the way, are priced at $150, $85, and $45. They're available at Ticketmaster.com, Foxwoods.com, by visiting the Foxwoods box office, or charging by phone by calling Ticketmaster. Cornelius K9 Bundridge came to people's attention in a big way through the TV series The Contender. His career has skyrocketed in recent years. Frankly, his greatest years have been his older years, reminiscent of a guy named George Foreman. He won a world title with a great performance in 2010 over Corey Spinks. The Detroit native went on to defend that title against Q Powell, and Spinks lost the title in 2013, but earned another shot against Carlos Molina, beat him, and became a two-time world champ. And he's about to defend September 12th at Foxwoods PBC on NBC against the very hungry Jermall Charlo. So, K9 Bundridge, say a few words, please.
What's happening, Lou, man? God bless you, man.
All good, bro.
Happy to be
I heard that barking, so I guess you think the old dog's going to have one night of new tricks, huh?
Oh, man, come on, man. This your dog, K9. Yeah, man, I'm excited, though, man. I finally get a chance to fight on one of your cards on NBC, live, same day Mayweather fight. It's going to be big. It's going to be nice, and I'm just looking forward to the challenge.
Thanks, and I'm going to take no further time. Let's open it up to questions from the press.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, again, if you would like to ask any questions, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. Again, the option is star 1 on your telephone keypad to ask any questions. One moment while our question comes into queue. Our first question is from Dax Khan with Talk Boxing TV and radio show. Go ahead.
Hi, how's everybody doing today? Peter's on the line, right?
Yes, yes. No. This is the first fight, Cornelius Bundrich and Jamal Charlo. It's a question for Cornelius and/or Jamal.
All right. So my question here is for K9. K9, with you being the oldest active world champion in the sport, and these younger fighters that are coming up today, continuously doubt you. What is it that you see in these younger fighters that allow you to continuously, stay on top of your game that they seem to be lacking?
Well, I grew up in Detroit, at the Crump Gym. I've been around Emmanuel Stewart, Tommy Hearns, and just saw all the wars. I've been in some of the, some good sparring. I mean, and I started boxing late in my career, so my longevity is long. A lot of young fighters, they look at my age and they say, well, he's 42 years old, but not in boxing. In boxing, I might be in my late 20s because I started late and I only had 10 amateur fights. So they be on the outside looking in, not really knowing what's really going on. But time will tell, and that's why I continue to prove that with God, all things are possible, and I keep winning. And I'm currently the oldest world champion right now, but I'm the oldest junior middleweight world champion of all time. Just in case you didn't know.
Actually, I did, and that's quite a feat. My next question is for Jamal.
Yes.
Okay. How you doing today? Jamal, my question for you is, this is going to be the most experienced opponent that you fought so far as a professional. What is it that you think that you need to do to kind of negotiate K9's experience, with your skills? What do you think your game plan needs to be able to make up for his extra experience that you seem to lack as a professional?
I mean, I can't take years from him or anything like that, but all I have to do is just stay young and do me, and continue to be me and force the power that I have.
All right, thank you very much, guys.
Next question, please.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please press star 1 on your keypad. There are no further questions in queue at this time.
Well, thank you, Jamal. Thank you, K9, for being with us. Look forward to seeing you guys in Connecticut, and this again figures to be a tremendous fight. Two guys who can bang, big knockout punchers, and two guys that have everything at stake. The old champion looking for the huge fight before he walks out into the sunset. The young challenger looking to take the belt away from him, and I wish you guys both best of luck, and I look forward to seeing you in Connecticut. Thank you.
All right.
Guys, are Peter and Michael about to join us?
We have Michael. Are you still there?
Yeah, Mike. Yeah.
Hi, Michael's on. We're just waiting for Peter to join in right now.
Okay, then we can begin. As I noted, this is a fight in the middleweight division, and Michael is not a household name or a well-known guy in the United States, but he was a terrific amateur with great credentials in Australia and that Pan-Asia area. He turned pro at 18 years old, won the first 15 starts of his career. At 23 years old, he's making his U.S. debut on September 12th when he comes to Connecticut to take on Peter. He has wins over previously unbeaten boxers Bruno Carvello and Luke Sharps, coming up a fourth-round TKO over Jan Mongol Singh Mamasak in March. But frankly, the most intriguing thing about Michael and the most interesting thing about this fight is how little he has to lose and how much he can upset with a great performance and a surprising upset. Obviously there are very few fights in the middleweight division any bigger than Peter Quillin, against Danny Jacobs. That's a fight that's being planned for December, and Michael has no intention of letting it get to that point, and really has very little to lose. Coming to the States with not much expected, but not much known about him, but he's coming to the States to win, and I think we were happy to give a young fighter, a young, fresh, athletic fighter an opportunity in this type of a fight, as opposed to finding somebody who's a retread or on the wrong side of their career. So, Michael, you want to say a few words? And also, Michael, there are some people that apparently have spread the rumor that you dance for Chippendales in your spare time. So you may want to clarify that one when you say a few words.
G'day, mate. Yeah, like I said, I've done what I've had to do in Australia, and I've got nothing to lose, like you said. So I'm coming down with everything in the show, and I'm going to upset the world. I've trained hard for this fight. For the last 6 months, I've been putting my body on the line, and like I said, Peter Quillin's definitely underrated me. I'm going to go out there and shock the world. You know what I mean? I've got nothing to lose, everything to gain. So I can't wait till September 12th to get out there and put on a good show.
Obviously, this is a big step up for you, Michael, and your opponent here is a guy that's been in against the top competition in all of boxing, been a world champion, coming off a great fight, a draw with Andy Lee. How do you approach a fight against an opponent with far more experience and a guy this well known, and how do you think you're going to handle the spotlight of being on a nationally televised show in the United States?
Look, I don't let the show and the pump up get to me too much. I know I'm fighting the best in the world, and it's a big task ahead of us. But like I said, we've got a game plan. We've been training super hard for this fight, and we just can't wait to get out there and put it all together. And like I said, we've got nothing to lose, everything to gain. Quillin, much respect to Quillin, and I appreciate him stepping in the ring with me. And it's an absolute honour to be up there with the best. It's time for me to shine, and I can't wait to get out there.
Thank you. Has Peter joined us yet? If he hasn't, we'll just take a few calls.
Peter, are you there?
Yes, I've been on the phone. I just didn't know y'all could hear me.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Peter. Peter Quillin, 31-0-1, 22 KOs. Peter is coming off a great fight with Andy Lee. Still looking to keep his undefeated record intact. Looking to get to that title showdown with Danny Jacobs. He won a middleweight belt in 2012 with his star-making 6 knockdown performance against Hassan and Dom. David Lemieux is about to fight against Triple G, and Peter Quillin knocked Mr. Ndam out 6 times, and Ndam is the best credential on Lemieux's record. So you see that the top of this division is got a lot of talented fighters, and Peter's looking to get to a huge fight, but he needs to get past a very hungry young kid with nothing to lose. Peter, I know that this fight for you is you're not taking anything for granted, and can you maybe say a few words to everybody?
Yeah, I want to first thank everybody who's involved in making this fight happen. I want to thank Al Heyman. I want to thank you, Lou, for promoting this great card. I want to thank all the other fighters that's on this card as well. I want to thank my opponent, Michael, who's stepping up to the challenge to take a fight with me. I want to thank God. I just want to thank anybody that's is going to be watching this fight and interested in seeing me make a comeback and make a climb towards where I want to be at in boxing. What more can I say?
Thank you, Peter. We'll open it up to questions for Peter and Michael.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions for Peter or Michael, please press *1 on your telephone keypad. Again, it is star 1 on your telephone keypad to ask a question. Our first question is from Keith Indick with The Record. Go ahead. One moment. Go ahead, Keith.
Think that Peter thinks of you going into this fight and maybe how he's perceiving you.
I only got half of your question, sir.
He's asking.
My question was for Michael, actually. I was just wondering what Michael thinks that Peter thinks of him going into this fight. Does he think that he's underestimating him, or what does he think that Peter thinks of him?
Look, I've got a lot of respect for Peter, and what he thinks to me doesn't really bother me. I've got a job to do. Whoever stands in front of me, I've got a job to do. So I've got to go out there and put on a show and do what, stick to our game plan and go the distance, go all the way, Just give it 110%. That's what I got to do.
Michael, there obviously has been a lot of talk about Peter fighting Danny Jacobs. It's a big fight in New York that people would be anticipating. What are your thoughts on that, and does that motivate you that people are talking about that fight before you and Peter fight?
Look, it doesn't upset me or anything, but like I said, it just gives some more fuel in the fire. It gives me more, spark to get out there and put on a big show. Like I said, Quillin's, one of the best fighters in the world, and huge respect to him, and I do appreciate him letting me even step in the ring with him, But, I am underestimated. I've beaten the best in Australia. I just haven't had the shot at the big stage yet. Now I've finally got my chance, so I've got to go out there and do my thing, and shine. So come September 12th, I'm leaving no stone unturned.
Thank you, Michael. Peter, I just have a question for you as well. I was just wondering, how is it for you, obviously, that this big fight is ahead of you if you're able to win this fight? How are you able to block that out and just concentrate on this fight?
Well, I don't like that it's like that way that they look for, over past. So I feel like in my mind that you always got to give a person a shot, you know what I'm saying? And, give him the decency to let him know that he's able to do something. And, I'm trying to keep my mind focused just on Michael because I know everybody's looking to try to make a name for themselves, and including him. And, if he was to come in with a proper game plan and he comes in there and beat me, then it probably wouldn't be one of the biggest upsets in boxing thus far. But, my job is to take everybody serious, whether it's Michael, whether it's Danny Jacobs, whether it's Genetic Alafim, whether it's any other name out there. It's just, staying focused on the guy that's in front of you, and Michael is that guy in front of me. And my job is to try to win one round at a time.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Our next question is from Dex Khan with Talk Boxing TV and radio show. Go ahead.
How you doing? My first question is from Michael. Michael, over the last few PBC cards, the unknown fighters from other countries outside the U.S. have stolen, the show. Last time, perfect example was Glowacki with his upset over Marco Huck. Do you feel that the fact that that you're not well known, whether it be by the fans here or by Peter Quillin, is an advantage for you?
Definitely. Like I said, the pressure's not as high. Like I said, I am the underdog. But like I said, we've got a strong game plan, and we've been training super hard. We've been working, 3-4 times a day, super hard. Doing the right stuff that needs to be done. And like I said, we're fighting the best. Quillin, utmost respect. He's fought the best and beaten the best, and it's going to be a hard fight. We know that as down here in Australia. But like I said, I've got nothing to lose. Everything to gain. So come fight night, I can only do what God tells me to do. And just go out there and do my thing. So, September 12th, I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait.
And my next question is for Peter. Peter, there's been a lot of criticism over the last couple of years that you haven't fought any of the other top middleweights, and it seems that your focus, I'm not saying it primarily is, but, it seems that whether it's you or Danny Jacobs, when it comes to another name, that's the only ones that come to mind or come out of each other as a possible opponent. Do you think that in the long run it could be an advantage as you guys kind of sit back and you watch what happens between Golovkin and Lemieux and Cotto and Canelo, and in the end, after they sort everything out, that will eventually, put you in a position to be in one of the bigger fights, and that would make that fight a higher profile once everybody else kind of sorts themselves out of the way for you.
Well, I think so. Pacquiao and Mayweather, we've been waiting on that fight for such a long time, and when the money got as much as it got, and the fight, of course, happened. And, for me, I'm a participant in boxing. I never came in the game of boxing to say, I don't want to fight him, I don't want to fight him, I don't want to fight him. I work with some of the best people in the sport of boxing that's going to make sure that my legacy, my money, everything that I'm doing this for is sealed. So, for me, I don't worry about the politics of boxing. There's a lot of things behind the closed doors when the boxing is being made that I don't have anything to do with it. The only thing I have to do with is me going to the gym, staying ready and staying in shape, and, taking whatever fights is available for me.
All right, thanks a lot. Best of luck to both of you guys.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Our next question is from Ryan O'Hara with the Boxing Voice. Go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. Same to Peter, Michael, Lou, McCall. Peter, my question for you is, you've been much criticized after coming in overweight for the fight against Andy Lee. Are you considering the move up to the super middleweight division at 168 in the near future?
Yes, I'm getting to that point where I feel like that's going to be on my horizons, and I'm getting older. I've been the same weight since I was 18 years old, and now I'm 32. You know what I mean? So it's like, I won't be to the point where I'm just trying to hang on to weight to try to, make things happen. I don't think will be happening. So, I think in my near future I will be up to 168 pounds.
All right, thank you. My final question is going to be for Mr. Zerafa. Welcome. My question for you is, of course, you're not a household name, but you're facing a former world champion. You haven't faced very many top opponents with the exception of I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. He's Russian, Arif Magomedov. Sorry about that. But have you been watching tape, and do you see anything that you could capitalize on Peter come September 12th?
Mate. Yeah, like I said, we've studied Quillin, and we've got a strong game plan. And like I said, we just want to go out there and stick to that game plan. And like I said, underestimated for this fight. A lot of criticism and stuff. But like I said, that's politics of boxing. But no, like I said, I'm very confident with this fight. Like I said, I'm the underdog. I've got nothing to lose, everything to gain, and I've had fights here down in Australia where I've also been the underdog, and I've had a huge upset. So, like I said, it's going to be a hard fight. He's the best. And like I said, to be the best, you've got to beat the best. That's what we're aiming to do. We're aiming high. In boxing, you can't aim, just to beat guys here and there. You got to fight the best, and that's what we want to do.
All right, good luck, and thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, my man.
Our next question is from David Grisman with BoxingScene.com. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, everybody. Lou, what is the weight limit for this fight? Lou? Anyone?
I think it's 163 pounds.
163?
Yes.
Is that Peter?
Yes.
All right. Okay, thanks, Peter. So it's a 163-pound weight limit. The next question, I guess, is for Peter. Peter, what happened with making weight in the Lee fight? And as a follow-up to that, do you think you'll be able to make it down to 160 should you go on to face Danny Jacobs next?
Well, it's just about eating the right kind of food. I don't eat unhealthy. I said, like, this is the first time in my career where I had to go through this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, as far as me working in the gym, I'm in the gym, and for the Danny Jacobs fight, whatever the case may be, I'm gonna try my hardest and try to make that weight. You know what I'm saying? But I won't kill myself. So like I said, I've been the same weight since I was 18 years old. I'm 32 now, and I'm only getting older. So it's like, the weight is not coming off the same like it did as a young man that I was once before. But we still got a lot of time. But the fight that I'm really worried about right now is Michael. Michael is the guy right now because, you know, without getting past him, nothing is going to be possible. And I have to at least show the guy some respect who's coming all the way from Australia. I want to give him an actual shot that he's able to do what he can do.
You mentioned that it was the first time in your career where you had to go through what you went through. What was that process like for you trying to make weight for the Andy Lee fight?
It was very emotional, man. You know, like on this level, man, let me just invite you into the world of being on my level. It's like you have so many people that can make promises to you but don't deliver. You know what I'm saying? So like, is that as far as trainers and guys, everybody just want to, you know, be in your pocket, man, and latch on to you some way, somehow. So I get a lot of that all the time, and I have to just figure out who works for me, who don't. So it's always like a process and an elimination kind of thing that I'm going through in my life.
I apologize. Let me clarify. What was it like for you physically trying to make weight?
Physically, I mean, I came close to making the weight. It was just the extra couple little pounds I had to like take off was like it didn't come off like it had done in my past. So it was like more of an emotional kind of thing that I was going through, trying to take off the weight. And I never got into a sauna, so I had to get in the sauna, and I was like, man, I did whatever I could, and, you know, if that's not good enough, then people have to accept it. So, you know, it is what it was.
How do you feel that affected your performance, if at all, against Andy Lee? And with that in mind, with this fight against Zerafa being at 163, how much do you feel your performance could potentially be better?
Well, I don't have that emotional kind of thing that I have to just, like, shoot for this. I'm fighting for a big old belt, and the pressure is just, like, a little bit let off, and now I have more, you know, I gave myself a little bit more time. I've been in the gym since after my fight, so it's like I haven't really came out the gym, so I've just been working, endless, and, you know, for me, I think all around, I just got to find the right fit with, like, a conditioner trainer, a proper dietitian where, you know, I can see what I've been doing wrong for all this time that I've been doing off of my own free mind. So I think I think I'm more got a clear mind to go in this fight and put on a good performance.
Okay, thank you. Next question for Michael, and that'll be my last one. Michael, I know that you've been fighting at middleweight for a couple years now, but you started off at junior middleweight. Do you feel like you're going in against a bigger man in this fight?
Look, you know, we know he's a big boy and he's solid. But like I said, I'm a pretty big middleweight myself. You know, I'm standing at 6'1", nearly 6'2". You know, I'm very solid and strong. So at junior middleweight, I was very, very big. You know, so I feel like you know, his weight doesn't really bother me. You know what I mean? Like I said, at the end of the day, we both have to weigh in at the same weight. So there's not going to be an advantage to Quillin or myself. You know, like I said, I think I've got the reach and height on him. And like I said, we just go out there and we work. You know, that's what we do as fighters. That's all we do. We go out there and we work. You know, win, lose or draw, we give it our absolute all. And like I said, I'm very confident with this fight.
Do you feel a physical difference in yourself between when you were fighting boiling down to junior middleweight and the weight that you're fighting at now?
Yeah, I find myself a lot quicker, a lot stronger, a lot smarter. You know, trying to get down to 69 kilos. You know, for us guys, it was mentally frustrating. You know, like Quillin said, those last couple of pounds, you know, they do mentally get to you sometimes. So you know, now I can get down to weight easy. You know, I'm strong and I'm fit, so I've got no excuses. You know, coming into this fight. Like I said, and I do respect Quillin for giving me the opportunity. You know, him and his team. And yeah, like I said, God bless.
And what do you take away from Peter Quillin's past performances, both his good ones and maybe the ones where he struggled a bit more?
Look, you know, we've studied Quillin, and you can't take nothing away from him. Like I said, you know, people on the outside, it's easy to criticise, but when you're in there, it's completely different. You know, he's fought the best and beaten the best. You got nothing bad to say about him. You know what I mean? The sport of boxing, like I said, it's a sport. You can't criticise or put down your opponent. You just got to go out there, and at the end of the fight, like I said, more shout. You know, we'll go out and have a laugh. But before the fight, you know, it's all business. And like I said, I'm not, you know, to be taken lightly. I'm coming out here to work and to go for that win. So, you know, come September 12th, I'm ready to rumble.
Last one. I promise this is the last one for me. Is it your understanding as well that this fight is at 163?
Sorry, mate, I didn't hear that question.
I'm sorry, Michael. Is it also your understanding that this fight is at 163?
Dave, it's at
Yeah,
163.
Yeah, like I said, we understand that, and that works even more for me. I'm coming in a lot stronger, a lot fitter as well. So I don't have to stress to get down that weight. I'm nearly at weight now, so I'm training comfortably, training hard, and training smart. We've got the best, people in the business, helping us out. So, like I said, we're working for it, getting the quality sparring, getting what we need to get done. So, I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, we've got nothing going against us, everything for us. We just got to go out there and enjoy it. It's the experience. I've never fought, like I said, on the stage with guys like Quillin. And like I said, we will go out there and give it our absolute all. And I'm looking forward to it. So can't wait.
Another question? Any more questions?
Yes, sir. Our final question is from Eddie Goldman with No Holds Barred. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. First question for Peter. Peter, you're going to be going into this fight as a big favorite. Most of the fans are going to be rooting for you. It's going to be live on NBC. It's on a very busy day for boxing. Does all this mean that you really want to make a statement to stand out? Because it's going to be there's be a lot happening September 12th.
Well, let's just say first and foremost, originally I'm from Grand Rapids, Michigan, the same place where Floyd Mayweather's from. So it's on the same day of one of the best fighters in the world, and also being from my same city of Grand Rapids. So it's a big thing for me. So, but my job is not to worry about putting pressure on myself to perform in a way where it's going to, I have to make a statement. What I'm going to do is just do my best to put on a good performance against a guy who's saying he we shouldn't take him lightly. So I'm going to take his words into consideration and know that I got to come out there with my best foot forward and do what I have to do. And that's the job of boxing, because, one punch can change a fight. And, like I said, I'm giving them the respect, until we step in the ring, and I'm giving them respect now. But after that bell rings, no more respect. And I just hope that he doesn't dance in the ring.
Have you watched tapes of his fights? How familiar are you with his style?
Man, I never in my career watched tapes of guys. My trainers, and that's what they do, and so they get paid to do. And I watched a couple rounds, and I was like, okay. Then they watch they go on and come up with the game plan, because I feel like when you get in there, a guy that you see and you think you see, he fights every guy different, or he might do some certain things over and over again. But my job is to just be ready. I put myself through a treacherous workout when I'm in that gym, that I train just to see it all. And when we come September 12th, we're just going to be trained to see whatever he's going to throw at me, and we're going to know what to do when he throws that, and make him pay for every mistake that he makes.
Okay, and a question for Michael. Michael, this is your first fight in the United States. You've done really well in Australia. The one time you fought out of Australia, you didn't win that fight. Tell us what you expect, because as everybody knows, most people will be rooting for Peter during this fight. Tell us what you expect to happen in it.
Look, we expect a hard fight. We expect, nothing but a war, and that's what we want. We want hard fights. We want to fight the best, and at the moment, Quillin's the best. We're looking to go straight past Quillin. He's got a big fight lined up with Jacobs, and that's already been spoken about. But I think they've looked straight past me. Like I said, the reason why I haven't been up there yet is because I haven't had the opportunity, and now I've got the opportunity, and I want to make it count. In Russia, it was a different story. We had problems in Russia. Can't let too much out back then. But now we're fit. We're 100% fit. Everything's well, medically, physically, mentally. So we're strong. We're ready to go out there and make noise, and that's what we want to do. My team and I have sat down. We've worked extremely hard, and like I said, we've got a very, very good game plan. Southpaw, and not. We're going to work. And like I said, September 12th, I'm just just be ready.
After that fight that you had in Russia, you won your next 2 fights. You got TKOs. Was there anything you changed in that, and you expect to show differently in this fight?
Since my fights, those 2 knockouts, like I've stepped up, 20 times more. I've gone different levels. I've gotten stronger training camps, stronger sparring partners. I've been moving around with the best in the world, and the best trainers in the world. Paying top dollar to get the best. So I believe I've gone, 10 levels above how I was then. So, like I said, I'm confident. I'm very, very confident. Like I said, take nothing away from Quillin. He is the best, and that's what we want to do. We want to beat the best. So, just got to go out there and do my thing, and leave the rest in the God's hands.
Okay, thank you. Good luck to everybody in the fight. Looking forward to it.
Thanks, my man.
Thank you, Michael, very much for being here. I know it's late for you right now, but thank you for joining us. And I think you gave people a chance to know who you are and that you're coming to Connecticut at Foxwoods Resort Casino for PBC on NBC September 12th with an intention of winning. And once again, the NBC broadcast starts at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific Time. Doors open at Foxwoods at 1 p.m. First bouts at 1:05 p.m. Tickets $150, $85, $45. Ticketmaster.com, Foxwoods.com. Visiting the Foxwoods box office or charging by phone through Ticketmaster. And it's going to be a great night, a great afternoon of boxing before a big night for boxing on September 12th. And again, Cornelius Bundrich defending his title against Jermall Charlo, and undefeated Peter Quillin against young Michael Zerafa. Thanks for joining us. See you at Foxwoods, and tune in on NBC if you can't be there. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, man.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This concludes today's teleconference. You may all disconnect.